Welcome to Shipping 101 with Zarmazing Treasures and Zar and Thor. I'm Thor, by the way. What we have here today is a couple of glass plates. These are really nice. They're
made in France.
Made in France. I can't pronounce the name of the type here, but you can see that they are. They bought two of them. We're selling them in pairs. And so we want to send them both at the same time. We want to figure out how to ship this well. Now, you probably have seen, if you've looked at our channel, you've seen that we had one plate. We had a 11-inch plate there, peach luster, I believe it was. You can see this one is about 9 inches wide. And so that might go into a 10 by 10 by 10 box. But 10 is going to be a little bit high, so we may have to resize it just a little bit. I do have the 10 by 10 by 10 box right here. We're going to get the lovely Zar assistant to go ahead and give me a 18-inch piece of hot tape. There it is, hot tape once again, just to secure the box. Some of you may have asked what size tape if you get one of these tools. Basically, I look at the dimension of the box. It's 10 inches wide or 10 inches long. And so then I add about 6 to 7 inches to put 2.5 to 3 inches on either side to help secure it. That gives it a good square on the side of the box. So if you're wondering how I'm doing that, that's the math. It's all about math. So there we have our lovely 10 by 10. It's really deep for these two plates. But that is going to be okay. Now, one of the things that we do have is we have some, it's just 12 by 12 foam sheets. You can get these almost anywhere. Places like Office Max, like U-Haul places, they all have these foam sheets that you can get. We have it in a box on a roll. And there you can see that we use that to package. We're going to package both of these plates together. We're going to brick them up, as it were. You can see here that there's some extra overlap. And some people will say, well, you should cut that off or you should do this or that with it. I don't. I leave it. And what I do is I just fold it into that well. When I go to put the bubble wrap on it, I just fold that foam into the well to help fill some space in there. Now, I'm just going to, because this is a 9-inch plate, I'm going to try to use the small bubble on this one. And when I put my bubble, I actually go so that it will actually pull these ears in. And so 9 inches, there's a 12-inch, a 12-inch, and probably 3 feet of bubble. Once again, it's all about math.
How many plates would you do in one stack?
How many plates would I do in one stack is an excellent question. Depending on the thickness of the plate. For example, stoneware plates are considerably thicker than this little thin glass here. I would do maybe up to 3. This glass, I might put in 4. And if I had additional plates, and hopefully we'll have a video with more than just the 2, I'll show you how I would situate it for more than 2 plates. So I might go as high as, depending on the order too. Typically I'd say 4 is a good number. If someone orders 3, then I'd do 3 of these together in one stack. If I had 4 of these, I'd put 4 of them. If they hit 5, I might do a stack of 3 and a stack of 2. You have to just kind of get the feel for the piece because every piece is slightly different. And so that's one of the things. You can't just say, put 4 in a stack. It might not work. And so you have to kind of get an idea for the item. So here we go. We're going to just fold those 2 ears in, and you can see there, that just wraps right around just really nicely. And I'm just going to take my handy dandy tape, bring it around there, and now that's the first step. And it still looks kind of odd. You're saying, Thor, that doesn't look right. That's because I'm going to take another set of thin bubble. This is the 3/16 inch bubble, and this time I'm only going to grab 2 sheets because I don't need to protect all of it. I just need to get it to cover this up. Put the plate in. You can see I'm folding that that foam ear in underneath the bubble wrap here. So the bubble wrap's going to kind of hold that in place. I'm now going to wrap the bubble around. And now take my handy dandy tape. And just like that, we're now ready to go on to the next step of the packaging. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tape up those edges just real quick. Kind of fold the top, fold the bottom up because that's the direction the tape's coming from. And now it looks square. And this is the part where I would try to fold these ears in, these corners, square corners around the round plate. And I would fold those in and just put some tape on them. And there you can see that we are just taking those corners, and we're always folding it into the well of the plate because we want to have extra padding there. There is our stack, 2 plates, just that tight. We're going to look for a pool noodle that may already be cut down. Don't have one, so I'm going to have to use a full-length pool noodle here. And we're just going to split this one in half again. And if you don't get it exactly half, don't worry. It's not a big deal. It's there to provide shock absorption. It's not to be exactly cut in half. It's not, it's not like somebody's going to come around and, double check you to see that your pool noodle's cut exactly in half. Unless you want me to, I'll be glad to do that for you. That's a service I provide for a reasonable fee. There you can see. Now I typically lay the plate in and I bring that pool noodle right around until it's about halfway. Bring it from the other side. Handy dandy shears. And what I'm actually doing is I'm putting the edge of the plate right into that channel there where we ended up cutting the pool noodle, right? So that channel is right taking in some of that edge of that plate. And there we go. We go ahead and just bring that around the pool noodle, just like that. And we have a little space here in the back. We're going to go ahead and cut a piece of pool noodle to fit along the back here. This is going to provide that extra padding to protect the back of the plate. And that's what you want to do, to provide that extra padding to keep anything from hitting the back of the plate. And so we just take a piece of pool noodle, and there you can see we've just placed it so that it is perpendicular to the cut that we made for the pool noodle going around. You can see there's the cut. It's perpendicular to that. So that means that I'm taping it again. I'm taping that cut piece to help keep it secure. Then just once around the other way. Now, if these are especially thin and vulnerable plates, you can take a piece of pool noodle and put it this way, so that so that it would be. I can't tell where the perpendicular was there. So you'd have another piece here to help protect the well, especially if they were very, very delicate plates, very thin china kind of thing. I'll show you here. We're just going to take that pool noodle, run it in the opposite direction. So now we have one going this way on one side. As you turn it over, it's going the other way on that side. So it really can't fall any way and hit the plate. It's a great gig. Now I'm going to get that 10 by 10 box that my lovely assistant put on the floor, and it actually might be, yeah, it's because of the pool noodles, it's a little bit large. But you know what? We can still use this box. And it's going to be a little bit funky to look at here for just a second, but I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put some 10-inch foam down in the bottom. So there's our 10-inch foam. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an air pillow and stick behind it. And I'm just going to come right over here to my machine. And hopefully you can hear me. I'm getting that air pillow made. And I'm going to go ahead and stick it right behind there. I'll probably need one more. And then I'm going to need a couple on the front side here. So what I'm doing is I'm actually building up a base for this to fall against, if you will. You can see there, that's going to just hold it. I'm going to put the air pillow on this side. And it's going to hold that in place so that it can't move. That should be good. Alright, I'm going to see if I can get that in place here. Alright. So that looks like it's going to do well there. I might move my air pillows around just a little bit. Some of these are a little bit more full than others. You can see there it goes. Fills in just like that. I'm going to grab my foam again and put it on the top. And you can see actually this looks like it was cut to 12 inches, but that's okay. I'm using it. I'm using it to hold some extra space in, fill some space. So there we go. We've got that one, and we put it in just like that. It looks like I'm going to need a little bit of pool noodle, just plain old the regular side. I'm going to put that over here to help give us some extra structure to the box. Because remember, it's all about holding the item in place. And there you can see that if I use that, I can cut the box down a little bit, which I'm going to do here in just a second. It's going to hold that in place so that I don't have to have the full size of the box. It looks like I might go here about 2 inches or so. So I'm going to take my items out of the top. Get my box sizer, handy dandy box sizer right here. I'm going to take it down to about 2.5 inches. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about as small as you can get it there. You can see that. I'm actually going to take the plate out too, so I don't have any problem doing this. Put my box sizer in. You'll notice what I do is I fold it down. I try to do it against the fold of the flaps because that makes it a little bit sturdier. I'm going to go ahead and put those in just like that. And once again, it doesn't have to perforate. You don't want it to perforate it to the point that it's going to cut the box off. All it has to do is provide a perforation for the box to fold against. Make sure you have a good sharp blade on your knife, and then you just cut the corners right where the perforation is. Slide the knife in, keep your hands away. Some corners are harder than others, and then just bring it right up. Slide the knife in, bring it right up. Now we're going to put the plate back in there. I'm going to rearrange my foam. You can see this one's actually taking us a little bit longer simply because there's just some strange things that happened with our packaging. Going to put our foam back on, and then we're going to put our, looks like I may have packaged it differently again. Oh, there it goes. And now we're just going to fold these down. Fold the flaps down where we perforated them. And once again, on the top, we're going to get our knife out, and we're just going to find a center spot, and we're just going to cut right through both of those flaps. You can see there, just cut right through those flaps. If you want to cut the other flaps off, you're welcome to. I'm just going to keep them on. If I weigh the box and it weighs just a little heavy, I can come back and cut them off if I need to. But right now I'm just going to do that. I'm going to ask for Another 18-inch piece of tape from the hot tape. Lovely assistant helping me here. And there we go. Now, if you're using 2 more pieces, these could be shorter. These could be 15 inches if we wanted to. We're just going to use 18 inches to help hold those flaps there, because those flaps are just a little bit weaker than a plain piece of cardboard. And so you do that to help structurally mask that. Now, if you are using skew fields, and guess what these are going to end up being at some point? They're going to end up being folded into a corner in something, I'm sure. If you're using the skew field in eBay or Enlist Perfectly or something like that, in Etsy, what we do is rewrite the skew number on here.
9321.
9321, so that when we go to ship it, we know exactly what box this is. And that's packaging multiple plates into a box. You can see here, no movement in the box. It's a lot of protection. And because this is probably going to be a heavier box, we're going to measure it 11 by 10 by 8. And so we can get that dimensions right on there, 11 by 10 by 8. And then weigh it. My lovely assistant doing that for us today. So that is packaging a set of multiple plates. If this was useful, please make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. And this is Zar Thor signing off.